It must have been some 15 years ago that I heard this music for the first time. And it has ever since been closely connected to the story of mourning in my life and my working with mourning in organizations. When I was a young boy, my mother told me that mourning for our losses is a lifetime journey. And for a long time in my life, I decided not to take that path because I didn't know where to start or how to start. Like with Peter. For 20 years, he's been working as a high-ranking manager in a corporation. And only recently, he has learned that he has to leave the organization due to severe cuts. And at first, there didn't seem to be much at hand. He had a severance pay and a lot of time to look for a new job. A big smile on his face, and he said, "I don't have to look back, we have to move on." Slowly, in an atmosphere of trust and welcome, he was able to share his true story of his utter despair and his panic. Not only did Peter lose his job, but he lost the meanings that were associated with those 20 years. And he felt disconnected with the many people that he had worked with. Peter was looking for a plot in this life-changing chapter, as he felt so much isolated. Now, what is it that makes this journey of Peter so difficult? And what is it that makes our journeys in mourning so difficult? I think because it's a scary journey, and it's a journey of stepping into the unknown. My own journey began when I slowly befriended my frozen self, that what seemed death and frozen inside of me. Many jobs and relationships had passed by, and I lost something. Innocence and a belief in strong and lasting relationships. My beloved poet Wisława Szymborska would call it debris from earlier ideals and dreams in her poem on writing a resume. I thought I could simply start again. I attached, I reattached, I left behind, I reattached in a circle that did not want to become round. Something was dogging me, but what was it? Slowly and painfully, I came to realize that it was death that was dogging me. My frozen self was afraid of dying. I was sitting on a tombstone that covered up my pain, my isolation, my not feeling heard, my feeling depressed. And paradoxically, it was exactly on this spot, sitting on my tombstone, that I started to discover the fullness of my life. It was underneath this tombstone that I discovered the ones that I loved and love, my dreams, my passions, my ideals. And it was from this moment that I started to profoundly reconnect. As happened with Peter. Slowly, he started to get grasp of what he had lost. And he was very angry. And he felt ashamed. He felt ashamed because he wasn't able to do it on his own. And this shame, so familiar to my own shame, I see reflected in many people in organizations. When I meet with CEOs and managers faced with the next reorganization, I sense their intense struggle to come to grips with what is ending, what is going to be lost, or what is already lost. They rather not pay attention to the emotion. They prefer to take the shortcut to the new world of promises, profits, and easygoingness. I think it's time for organizations to incorporate in their culture dealing with loss and mourning. This will enable them to be better, happier, and economically more stronger organizations. Now, let me give you an example. Jennifer had to sack 100 people a few years ago. She was a CEO of a big consultancy firm. It was half the organization that she had to let go. At that time, she decided not to pay too much attention to the emotions. Now, a few years later, she had to dismiss another 25 people. And she decided that she wanted to do it differently, because the pain, the anger, the apathy, the resistance as a result of the former reorganization were still so much there. So she took a different path. Every meeting with her management team, she asked that one single question concerning the emotions of every single manager being there. And while some turned their faces physically away, others couldn't wait to tell the story of what they were really going through. Along the way, Jennifer took another decision. Reluctantly, she decided to organize a collective farewell party. This ritual of informally being together, of just sharing things, turned out to be of extreme high impact in the organization, enabling co-workers to reconnect and to maybe look into the new future. In the face of decline and reorganization, I meet brave managers who come to the essence of their leadership. That is, that they can be vulnerable and strong at the same time. And so they can engage in a dialogue with their co-workers about the mourning they are dealing with due to the reorganizations. And it's only then that they can look for new possibilities. There is no shortcut in our way through mourning. Now, this is the paradox. We will find a new zest for life, new possibilities to create new organizations exactly at the point where we were deeply hit and hurt. Fertilization takes place where we are wounded. This is the awkward journey, the road less traveled by. I thank you for listening to a small part of my journey, and I salute you on your way, wherever it will lead you through.